All right. So, I was actually in the middle of doing a quick little back test. And I was thinking, why not record? Okay. So right now, let me just catch y'all up. So therefore, I don't get too deep, into what I'm doing within the flow. And then next thing you know, like, you know, y'all just kind of lost. All right. So right now we're on gold. We're on gold. Let me back out of this, but right now we're on gold, and currently, I had just watched a new little video by Candles and Conviction to kind of refine this strategy a little bit more, and give you guys some free pointers. Give you guys some pointers from the knowledge that I distilled. Again, this is me combining. Right? Yes, I did have a video earlier where I said do not combine strategy with strategy with strategy. Um, I will say this one caveat: there is a difference. So right now I'm trading ICC, which is known as indication, correction, continuation, or in another, light, it's, what I mentioned, ICI, which is indication, correction, indication, or indication, correction, get money, right? That's what Mike Lito says. I don't even know what the hell ICT is, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with ICC. So either way it goes, we get it. We get it, right? So right now what I'm implementing is being able to find support and resistance, and then also finding the major structure. So right now the major structure is on the daily time frame. This is the highest time frame that I want to go, which is now you're seeing a uptrend, right? Cool. So now once we got our uptrend, I'm going to mark off levels that are going to be on the 4 hour. Now, why do I have my gray zones in the where they are, right? So it's this thing about the equals. Whenever you see the equals, right, the tops where these two candles are equal with each other right here. Again, candles are equal with each other right here, or candles are equal with each other right here. This is just helping you identify support or resistance, right? So let me mark this up real quick. So right now we are seeing a lot of levels of support because, again, if price breaks an area, right, it is no longer being resisted. It is now, that area is now being used as support. So we have a lot of areas of support, right? So this is another area of support. I hope y'all like my new little template where I got my support stuff already outlined. Oop, don't want to fuck that up. Got a nice little, you see the nice little orange going over here. All right, but cool. So now we are gonna move in, and we're gonna have more. So hopefully y'all can start seeing this a little bit more clearly. So we have support here, and the reason why we have support here, you'll see once we get closer. And in fact, I can actually add another level of support right here as well, because we got this here. So we got two zones within itself right there. And then also we do have this zone right here. Let's not leave that out. Right. Now, I will say that the support or resistance is going to be found at the bodies of the candles and not the wicks. The wicks are basically what you see price-wise on lower time frames. The bodies are stronger because, again, we're on higher time frames. So that means the evidence that we're seeing is a lot stronger than what we would see on the lower time frames. Okay, cool. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going down to the 1 hour. But before I do that, so let's explain this indication real quick. All right, so we currently see price ranging, right? There are no highs being formed in the market, and there are basically no lower lows being formed in the market because wicks are coming out, etc., and so forth. Price is not trending like it does over here. You know what I'm saying? That's not, this is a trend. This is not a trend. This is a little box. This is another trend. This is a little box. This is a trend, okay? So, with that being the case, right, my indication comes out of a range, right? It creates a new high or a new low. We have created a new high above this resistance. So what does that mean? That means we have our point A. And I'm actually going to change this color to, let's do green. All right, let's do green. And we're going to make these green opposed to point A, right? Cool. And then that means right after that, we're going to have point B. Cool. save this. So again, just for future shit, I ain't gonna do with it. Cool. So we got point A, point B. So now we are coming towards point C, which is what? The beginning of the end of the correction, right? Cool. So we're going to take a trade once I see what I want to see, which is a second confirmation on the lower time frames, letting me know that price is getting ready to change trend, right? So we're on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. Cool. We are now at the 1 hour. We still see what? Excuse me. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we know price is stopping right here, so it's respecting support, right? It's respecting the support that is being built right here. Let's add another thing. See how much simpler that is? But cool. So we have a level of support right here and a level of support right there. Cool. Now, with that being the case, I'm looking for price to break this level of resistance, because once price breaks this resistance, right here, then we are pretty much in the clear to be able to see not only higher highs and higher lows, but we're also where at our golden ratio level. You know, but basically the correction is over with and we're getting ready to go to point B from point C, and basically point B is going back to point B is point D. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just waiting, right? That's the biggest thing that we're trying to accomplish here. We're just waiting. So let's see this 1 hour develop. Cool. So you see these bodies right here? These bodies are still struggling to break past resistance. However, we do have a break-in structure, so that's good news. So we're either going to see another push come through, right? So let me go ahead and go down to the lower time frames. And just like that, you see the lower time frame. Price was able to break through resistance, and now it formed the beginning of a lower high, right? So let's see what it does after that. Cool. Cool, right? Let's highlight another thing. What is this? Again, support. Why? Because you see this right here. So shout out to candles and convictions. There are equals right here, right? Candles and bodies are candles that have equal bodies, right? To where price is stopping, right? It's negotiating whether or not it's going to go up or down. So that was a really good point made by her. So shout out to her. And again, we're just seeing, we're seeing what? The same thing play out to where we have this support right here. So now price is going to use this support to bounce, push past this resistance. If we're looking at what we're supposed to look at, which is right now, we went from that high, that low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then lower high, lower low, and then boom, we have a high, your high, and it looks like we're getting ready to have a higher low. So right now, I'm waiting to see this happen. On the 1 hour time frame, we just have a break in structure. So this is not strong enough, right? This is not strong enough. So we're going to wait until we get strong enough evidence that this is actually moving in our favor. All right. Cool. So here, this is more what we're looking for. This is a good candle, right? This is a very good candle. So let's see if we get another one. All right, we got this. Again, it's still kind of struggling. We have a higher low here. We have a higher high, higher low. Again, this is still not within our resistance. It hasn't broken just yet because it could easily chop back down. So we want to make sure that we get this resistance broken. Cool, resistance broke. All right, so now we can go to our 15-minute. And we can see if we can get a lower high out of it. And I think it's gone. Yeah, I think it's gone. Cool. All right. So here we look like it's getting ready to have a lower high formed. I'm going to have my buy here. I'm going to have my stop loss here. And I'm going to have my take profit here. Okay. Because now I have a second confirmation. Because I have a higher high, right? I have a higher high, I have a higher low, and then I have a higher high. So we're getting ready to see a higher low be established. It's going to go into our stop loss a little bit from what I'm thinking. And then from there, it's going to complete the rest of the way out unless it goes back on us. If it does, then we'll check the higher time frames to just see what happens. But let's go, right? Cool. So right now we're seeing price finally get into this resistance. Right now we're still up in our trade. We got in at the higher low and now we're experiencing the buy. There was no kind of drawdown. It went straight up, so that's a really good sign. So now we're almost at our take profit, right? And we just got a 2-to-1. By the way, also just to mention, this did hit 61.8, so we could low-key hold it to the 27%. Just want to say that. Because it was a big correction, so we can expect a big continuation. Or we should get a big continuation. And right now, price has done that. It's created a lower high. Now, we did struggle at this area to break past it. This was here. Now, I'm gonna choose to close it as far as stopping, and we're going to end up making less money on this. And the reason why is because I low-key want to highlight this, because this is a learning lesson for me. This will be a learning lesson for you. This right here, again, was resistance, right? So with that being the case, we could have just held until it got to the top of resistance, or until it got into that resistance area, and then after that closed the trade. Let's look at the bigger time frame just to see what's going on. Because right now we're still holding, so let's get that out. So right now, higher low is being formed. We could still hold this trade. I could still hold this trade if I want, because things aren't looking too bad. Again, it's just experiencing a bigger candle. So, and now on the daily, we're still going up, right? We're still going up. So that wick does give me something to pay attention to, though. And then on the higher time frames, again, we're here. So we, like I said, we can. I chose to close it right here, and honestly, I should have just closed it there. But just for the sake of seeing what happens, right? Just for the sake of seeing what happens, because I'm all about experimenting, and that's what backtesting is for. Backtesting is being able to see your strategy and see how the market is going to react to your game plan. That's the importance of practice, right? It's getting the reps up. So let's just see what happens. Let's see if it hits the target that I want it to hit, which is this 27, and let's see, you know, whether or not we're going to get stopped out before it happens and we have a deeper correction, or if not. All right, so let's just see how it plays out. All right, so it got to 0, didn't get here, so that establishes something as far as it's not a guarantee just because it hits the golden ratio, right? Which is 61.8. It does not give you a guarantee, so that's a learning lesson for me, right? That's a learning lesson from you. It does not give you the 61.8. The 61.8 does not guarantee it's going to go over on the other end, right? It's better to pay attention to the zones of where price has struggled to be able to break than it is to pay attention to the percentages and the numbers of what the tools are. It's better to see what the market is giving you automatically and take what the market gives you. Otherwise, guess what? You're going to get stopped out and you lose all your profit. And just like that, a winning trade becomes a losing trade. We never want to turn winners into losers, right? That's basically being a sore winner, right? There's nothing worse than a sore winner. So with that being the case, the true entry and exit, we got the entry correct. The exit should have been what? As soon as price either touched the top of this resistance or as soon as it got in. So that means the maximum that you were going to get was a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 1. That's fine. Again, we don't want to be a sore winner, right? We don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. Now, understand some people are going to say, well, you know, break even, break even. All right, look, I'm going to be honest when I say this. Here's how I feel about break even. Break even means that, one, I don't trust my trade from start to finish. That's just how I see it. Yes, it's risk management. Yes, it's protecting capital. But let's make this make sense. If you break even, that means, I'm going to be 100% when I say this. You didn't make any money. Like the trade literally went and it lost. Just like that. So you made zero money, right? It is better for you to have a trailing stop loss than to break even. And to me, it is better for you to just have a great entry and a great exit and a great setup than to do a trailing stop loss and to also do a break even, because that's how you know your trading is getting better. That's just being honest. That's how you know your trading is getting better, especially with your entries. That's just how I feel about it. I'd much rather have a amazing entry and then an amazing exit, even if it's a 1 to 1, 2 to 1. I mean, it's 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, because that lets me know I'm getting really good at my entries and I'm getting really good at understanding the charts. Had we just exited right here, we wouldn't have had any conflicts of had to be like, well, I don't know, maybe we'll go back. You get what I'm saying? We had originally, before that, we stopped right here. So the money really was at a 1 to 1, right? Still not bad, but we lost a whole lot of pips. How many pips did we lose? Let me see. So if that's this, right? So we're at like what, 997 pips? We lost damn near over 400 pips worth on gold just because that, right? And really, we could have stopped it right here. We could have stopped it right at this level. You know, we could have stopped it like right here at this level. So it would have been still about a 1 to 2. So this is a learning lesson, right? Your targets are always going to be the resistance or support levels where price left off, because that's the clue for you. Look for the equals, right? Look for the equals. If price does that, right? Like say if you are in the middle of your you're getting profit, right? And if price does this equal right here, because more than likely, like that's where it stops. Go ahead and get out of your trade. I ain't gonna lie, just go ahead and get out of your trade and take what the market gives you, right? So say if it's here, say if you're already at the resistance and price is starting to, you know, it closes below it, just go ahead and get out of your trade and take the 1 to 2, no sweat, and you good. So, but yeah.